Hi, my name is Andy Weiner, and I'm the author of Down by a River, which is a picture book that was published earlier this year. It's illustrated by April Chu, who lives here in Oakland and is a very talented illustrator of a number of other children's books, including Kate Warren. The book came out in March of this year, and it's about fly fishing, about a boy and his mother and his grandfather who spend the day fly fishing together at a place where the grandfather and the mother began fishing many, many years before. So it's a story about family tradition and sharing a wonderful pastime. Started writing the book about 14 years ago, and it took many years for it to be accepted for publication. And one of the things that I like to show is sort of the process of illustration. And what I brought with me is some samples of the process of several illustrations to be included in the book. April starts with sketches that she does with pencil, and she starts with a rough drawing, and then she does, actually that's not what I'm showing you, this is the second part of that drawing, and those became, why don't you show it this way, the cover of the book, which is this beautiful color cover with the rising trout and the family on the bank. And so the illustrations are based on some samples that I sent to her to give her an idea of what the world of fly fishing is like, what it's like to stand by a river, what it's like to stand in a river, what it looks like when a fish is on your line, what it looks like to cast. And she used these illustrations very closely for the final art in the book. And the way that she does her work is she does her rough sketch with pencil. She does a more fine illustration that's her final sketch, and then she scans them, puts them in her computer, and actually colorizes the images in the computer, and they came out, as you can see, really beautifully. She also did a lot of illustrations of flies. I have a lot of flies here, and I sent her 24 flies to be included in the book, but she got very carried away and really enjoyed drawing and coloring the flies. So in the book, there are end papers, and in the front of the book and in the back of the book, there are almost 80 unique flies. All of them are real, all of them have their real names, which can be things like woolly bugger. Kids love the names of the flies. And then also another special feature of the book is the case cover, which is underneath the dust jacket, and it's a really beautiful illustration that is in the story as well. What's really fun is to do events with kids and talk about fly fishing and show flies and show some of the equipment that you use when you fly fish. There are a number of fly boxes here with probably several hundred flies used for different circumstances and different times of year and different fish that you're fishing for, whether they're on the surface of the water or below the surface of the water. I also like to show the equipment that you wear when you're fishing. Kids, I think, really enjoy seeing a pair of waders, which keep you dry in the water. These are some lightweight waders. You can wear heavier ones for cold weather. Also, fly vest, which has pockets to put all of your fly boxes in, and all of the equipment that you need when you're fishing to remove hooks and keep your fly floating on the water. Very important are the boots, so you can actually walk without always falling over in the river. Sometimes you do fall over in the river, I certainly do, but these are things that make it much easier for you not to fall over. Also have, of course, the fly rod, and these can be anywhere from maybe 6 feet to, for some of the Japanese fly rods, 20 feet long, which is extraordinarily tall. So this one is about 8 feet, and it's a very lightweight fly rod for smaller streams and smaller fish. I think people have really enjoyed the story because it's about a family, because the mother is probably the best fly fisher in the family. There are many, many women who are fly fishing these days. They're a huge part of the industry and of the sport. And the fact that Art, the main character, has the patience and doesn't give up and does catch a fish. And then also that it's set in a really beautiful natural environment. There's information about conservation in the back of the book. There's information also about the sport itself, the history of the sport, the equipment, some of which I've shown today, and why it's a special activity for kids and families. I hope you enjoy it, and thanks very much. Thanks to Laurel Bookstore.